Hello my viewers, welcome to another wonderful presentation. Today, I remember my humble self, Charles Chukwumakwoka Esquire. I'm a property lawyer. Today I'll be talking to you on how to register a property title in Nigeria. I want to take you through. Those of you who have been watching me and those of you who are just watching for the first time, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned to very insightful content coming up every week based on property title and perfections and property real estate transactions in Nigeria. How to register a property title in Nigeria? What do you know about that? Do you have a property in Nigeria and the title is not registered? Do you know the consequences of it? Now, if you know that, come closer. Today, we are going to enlighten you on just simple things that you just need to know to register your property title document. It's very important that you register your property title document to avoid any future occurrence and avoid you losing your property, because once you register your property title document, it's an evidence to prove your ownership of that property, and there will be no issue with anybody coming up tomorrow to challenge you, because that time you have the opportunity to express yourself. Now, what are the steps to take for property registration in Nigeria? Now, when you buy a property in Nigeria, the next thing you think, how can I register this property title? Now, once you register the property title, you feel yes. Oh, peace of mind. That's the next thing that will come. But once your property title is not registered, you will still be having some doubt that anything can happen at the end. Why not just register your property title? Now, I want to take you through the steps that you will take before you register a property title document. Number one, that once you make up your mind that you want to buy property in Nigeria, the first thing you need to do is to first of all engage a property lawyer. Ensure that you engage a lawyer. You have a lawyer standing by your side, so that any movement, any slight thing, the lawyer will look and see and tell you. Now, the lawyer has the responsibility to help you to conduct a proper legal due diligence. Now, legal due diligence will help you to uncover any things, if there is any, any issue on that property title, whether it's concerning the owner, that is the seller of the property, whether the does not have title and you want to sell, or whether the property in question has issue with government. Now, let me tell you one thing about due diligence. Due diligence will uncover so many things, because one, it's not only about whether there's an encumbrance on it, or whether there's, sometimes you know that land you want to buy of that property may fall within the setback that is prohibited. Now, let me tell you that any place they have a federal highway, there's a federal highway law that tell that the setback that you have from highway must be 15 meters away, usually 50 meters. Usually 50 meters from federal highway. Now, if you buy a property that falls within that, pipeline, the same thing. What is it called? Power line, the same thing. Setback, you need to know all those things. Very important that you know all those things, so that you will not make mistake to go and buy property. Now, what your lawyer will do is to conduct a proper legal due diligence to investigate the property title. First of all, do charting of the land to know the status of the land, to know whether it's free or whether it's under government acquisition. Even if it's under government acquisition, find out whether it's subject to regularization. If it's not subject to regularization, run for your dear life. Nothing you will do that government will regularize it. Please take note of that. Now, the due diligence will show you everything. If there is any court case on that property, if there is any dispute, whether boundary dispute or whether even ownership dragging. Sometimes you see if one family or the other, they will be dragging property. Now, all these things, due diligence will uncover all these things for you. Now, then you go to the land registry. Land registry will also help you to verify document what they have. Check the name on the document with the lands. with what the seller will be showing you. If there is a change there, please be very careful. That's what your lawyer will do. Due diligence is very important. Do not overlook that, because you will make mistake. Then the number 2 things that after your due diligence, once the due diligence is completed and the property title is genuine and there's no issue, the next thing is to do is to prepare for conveyancing. Now your lawyer will prepare a conveyancing document. Now conveyancing document will depends on the jurisdiction where you are buying this property. Now there are some jurisdictions that fall under CA state, Conveyancing Act states 1881. That's law that guides that jurisdiction. Like some part of the most part of the eastern states, and some part like Delta, Enugu, Imo, Anambra, so on. Now they are covered by the CA, and what they use is deed of conveyance, even though some people use irrevocable power of attorney like they do in Imo State and Abia State. Now, but it's not the proper instrument of transferring of legal title. So take note of that. But even though the government permit that, so but now if it's in Ogun State or any part of the western state, then you use deed of assignment, which is because it fall under Property and Conveyancing Law States, PCL State, PCL 1959. So take note of that. Now these laws guys different jurisdiction. Now conveyancing document, number 1 thing you need to know that is very important, sacrosanct, that you have it, is that deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is embodiment of all your agreements with the landlord, both the legal interest. You are transferring everything to you. So as you are going, you are packing it. Do you understand it? So at this point, you know that deed of assignment or deed of conveyance, whichever name is called, which depending on jurisdiction, is very important. Then some transaction will involve contract of sale. Now let me tell you, some people don't know that some transactions you cannot close it only with deed of assignment. You will close it with deed of assignment and contract of sale, and even with purchase receipt, and even as well with affidavit. Let me tell you, there are some circumstances that an affidavit need to be sworn. Now, an affidavit, a breach of an affidavit is an act of perjury, and it's a criminal action punishable by law, by imprisonment. So you need to know all these things. When you start seeing mago, maybe you are suspecting, my dear, draft affidavit I use it to cover up their conveyance straight away. If anybody mess up now, if your lawyer will use, we take action. Don't petition the person, they pick the person up. So you don't need to just worry yourself. So take note of all this. That deed of assignment, very important. Then contract of sale, when there are some terms and conditions that are too voluminous and you need to capture them. Maybe somebody want to buy property, the property is still under construction, it's not yet completed. You need a contract of sale so that you'll be able to factor whether if you are buying property and you are paying on installments. You need a contract of sale to factor everything there. So and factor both the delivery. So now another important document you need to after the deed of assignment, contract of sale, the land purchase receipt. Very important that you have this land purchase receipt. Even though the deed of assignment has the purchase, the receipt clause, so which is also very important. The owner has already acknowledged that the property is sold to you. The survey plan is another thing. Survey plan is very important because it shows the perimeters and boundaries and demarcations. Do you understand? So you need to understand that fact, because one, survey plan, you cannot be able to differentiate that land from any other land except with survey plan, because survey plan has the coordinate that is pointing to only that particular land and it has dimensions. So to ask for the root title is also important. Now let me tell you what the root title is all about. The root title is the title that the first title issued on a property by the government. That is root title. It can be a C of O. It can be either private C of O, deemed grants. That's what they call it, deemed grant, or it can be a gazette. So you need to understand that. Very important that once that is captured, you have all these documents with you before you end up saying that you want to go for perfection of title document. Now, after having all these documents, now what are the other things? You need to understand that, yeah, your lawyer will apply for perfection. Now, perfection of property title involves so many things, but you know that by virtue of the Land Use Act 1978, government has vested the land in the territory of the state on the governor of the state to hold that property in trust for the members of the state. So, and for you to alienate or transfer any legal interest by virtue of section 22 of that same Land Use Act has made it compulsory that you must sought and obtain the consent of the governor of the state before he can be able to transfer or alienate any legal interest in that property. So now, take note of it. For you to approach government to apply for consent, what are the things? Because after the due diligence, you do converse, all papers has been drafted and submitted to you. The next thing is to go for perfection. Now, perfection of title document will depends on the type of property. If that property does not have C of O, what you need to do is to apply for C of O. If the property is something that has been in the possession of some people before the Land Use Act was enacted, what you will apply for is deemed grants. And that deemed grant, please take note, most people are making mistake. Instead of writing a deed of deemed grants, a deemed grant deed, whatever, by statutory way of this for whatever, they will just go and drop deed of assignment. No, if you go to last, they will query it. You go back and redraft. So know when a deemed grant deed is to be drafted or when ordinary deed will be drafted. So now take note of that. Now once you have done all the necessary things, gather your document, the next thing is to approach government. Make sure that if that property has C of O or Gazette, you have Form 1C. Form 1C is very important too. Therefore, once it's recognized by the Land Use Act and each laws of the state also recognize an application for governor consent. Now they'll feel that application, please, I beg you, once you press, when they look at it, don't write dates on it. When they sign it, don't insist that they must put dates. Do not insist. I repeat, do not insist, because when they put date, that day they are put there, you to start counting after period of 60 days, you will start paying fine. So for each day that you don't pay, maybe even if they are charging 50 naira, you know what you take. Maybe the property have stayed for 10 years before you even decide to approach government. So now, once they apply for governor consent, the next thing is to understand the fact that yes, you are going to pay fees. Now, what are the things that you are likely to see when you are paying for governor consent? You need to know that the consent fee, you pay consent fee, you pay registration, you pay capital gain tax, you pay stamp duty, you pay neighborhood improvement charge, you pay so many, you pay for even publication, a lot of things that you pay. But those ones now, don't worry yourself, give your lawyer better money, make you enter market. Do you understand? So once you give your lawyer better, the lawyer will take care of those things now. So those ones are, some of them are small change, but those straight ones that I mentioned, capital gain tax, stamp duty, consent fee, they are very expensive, so not depending on the value of the property. Then the survey plan, make sure your survey plan is registered, because it's not about provisional copy. Provisional copy is not going anywhere. You cannot use it to do any work at all. So take note of that. So once all your things are, you have submitted the application, the next thing is to do is to wait for them to pass the process. Now a lot of process, and if it's now in Lagos State, where they are now doing digitalization, sometimes the computer will forget documents. Computer will forget to recognize some certain things. In fact, a lot of things going on, delaying the process. So please do not worry your lawyer. It's not his fault. A lot of people have been calling me, telling me that the lawyer, you're a property lawyer, I want to verify that this I gave somebody my lawyer a deed of assignment to go and register for me. He's been there for 1 year for 2 years. No, it's not the fault of the lawyer. There is little or none the lawyer can do to go and do there. It's the system. You cannot. There's something you cannot change. So don't go and be worrying your lawyer, please. So and that's the thing. Once you apply for registration of title document, the only thing that you need is patience. Just be patient, it will come out. Except there is an issue. Because if there is an issue there, they will query it. Even if in fact, if you get to the Surveyor General's office, they will query it either in the charting department or record department, whatever they get to. They will query it, and you go back and go and do another survey plan again and resubmit. You know, you apply for withdrawal, you apply for submission, they will vet again. All these things now. That's why it's very important that you use a professional to do this work so that you will not make any mistake. Now, having known all these things, now take note. I want to repeat. Once you are buying a property, document that is very sacrosanct, that you must have number one, deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is very important. Then the purchase receipt also important, but not that important like that to some extent. But survey plan, survey plan, very important. You have your registered survey plan. Then if the property has a root title, you must have Form 1C. That Form 1C. Then if there's mago, anything you are seeing, the next thing is please tidy them up with a affidavit to just swear an affidavit of fact that yes, I own this property, I have the right to sell and everything, and if nothing that is hidden, bagam, anything there now, you collect the person sharp. Then make sure you apply, get your root title once that is available. Now, what are the important tips? I want to take you through. But before I take you through important tips for this property registration title, I want to tell you, if today is your first time or just watching me for the first time, or you have been watching me, please continue to stay tuned to the end of my video presentation. Any of my video presentation at the end, I always drop punchline that will help you. I won't drop it on time so that those that want to hurry to watch and see all the information, they will not see it. But stay tuned to the end, you will see and you understand something. If you have not subscribed, do so to subscribe my YouTube channel, and also click on the notification bell so that you can continue to get notification anytime I drop a video. I always drop a very exciting videos that will enlighten you and expose and open your eyes to some certain things. Now, and also if this video is okay and you like what you are doing here, what I want you to do is to share the video to your friends, those who are desirous of buying property developer, property investors, homeowners, landlords, and even tenants. You continue to share the video so that they will continue to get feedback on that. So now, what are the important tips? Now, number one thing I will tell you, if you want to buy property in Nigeria, please make sure you engage a lawyer. Engage a lawyer, don't do it by yourself. It's like a suicide mission. Please take note of that. And another thing I will tell you is to avoid shortcuts. Stop looking for when your lawyer charge you fee, you go to internet to go and call another lawyer to negotiate lesser. That lawyer who has been telling you the truth, following you up, when he gets to pay him money, that's when you know that you will negotiate. You will start is it not just paper? That's when you remember that it's not just to write an agreement to do this thing now, to just put a C on it. And you now start pricing the peanut like say they are selling crayfish and pepper. That's where problem will stop avoiding shortcut. Or you want to buy, some people say they say there's no point of getting a lawyer. Even the seller will even deceive you to tell. Any seller that tell you that you don't need a lawyer as a property buyer, be very careful about that seller. He has something behind. Because why is that? Your lawyer will follow his own lawyer. and his lawyer will protect him, your lawyer will protect you. Imagine somebody now, you want to go and fight war, doing things. Whenever you are entering into a contract, prepare yourself like you are entering into war. That is an agreement, that is contract. You want to buy property, exchange of rights, and you do not prepare yourself. He prepare himself. You now ask yourself, are you wise? They will tell you they don't need a lawyer. My lawyer can take care of it. You can do everything. That's what is happening in practice. They will tell you, they will just bring 500,000 naira. I will do that. The next thing you will do is to go to internet and go and start looking for lawyer to pay 500,000. That they are not. It's not the same thing. Your own lawyer will work for you, give you reports, search report, do conveyance. If anything goes wrong, it can cost that lawyer his service. It can cost him his certificate, because it can be debarred if you take any action, and also you can sue the lawyer for damages. So if there is any fraudulent element you can establish there, that lawyer can be suspended from practice. So take note of that. It's very important. So don't cut corners. Don't meet all those people that are used to cut corner buyers, that property buyers, they don't want to pay fee, but they want to get professional service. Don't be like them. Be a very good property buyer and protect your right. Then the next important tip I want to tell you, please, when you want to buy property, make sure that you collect all the necessary documents from the seller, most especially the original document. If that property, you are buying the entire property. But if you are buying a property where they have unit of houses or unit of lands there allocated to different people, what you do is to collect the photocopy of the root title. Make sure, verify that. It's very important, so that you can be, because whenever you want to register this is needed. Even certified true copy is what government will require. You go to lands and obtain the certified true copy of the original title, and take note of that. It's very important that you get all this things. Then if you are buying from family, another important tip, if you are buying a property from a family, please make sure that the head of the family and another principal member of the family sign for that document. If only one person sign it, it's invalid. Please take note of it. If you are buying a community land, the king of that community must sign it, and one principal member of that community will sign the document for you. Please take note of that. It's very important that you know all these things. If it's in the company property, note that the director or secretary, director and secretary, or director, two people must sign it. If you are buying from an incorporated trustee like non-governmental organization, trustees, trustee or trustee and secretary, please take note of that. The only land one person can sell is the only land that one person bought with his own individual name. That is only when one person can sign. And if that property is jointly bought by husband and wife, note that only wife or husband cannot sell that property. Please take note of all this. It's very important. So whenever you want to buy property, first of all, look at the title. There are some instances. Let me give you a case scenario. I had a client that want to buy property in Magodo then in Lagos. The client, we saw a property, very good. The client loved the property, everything. We went there. He called me, and I went and met the wife of the man, and he loved the property. Only for when we want to transact, I insisted that because when they showed me the document showed Mr. So-so and Mrs. So-so, and I demanded that the husband, I must speak with the husband. I must meet with her. And when they sent me mail to send offer letter, I said I must include them. And they included the man's email, and I forwarded an offer letter only for the man to first respond. I am not a party to this transaction. My dear, what do you expect? Now run, because one is that no will. We try to what is going. He say he doesn't want to sell his property. The wife want to sell and do whatever, but she cannot sell it. Please take note of that. And if you want to buy a property with court order, Please be very careful to read the court order very well. These things are very important that you know all these things, and I don't want you to make any mistake. Thank you so much for watching, and I also wish you well, and expecting you in my next video where I will give you more tips and more things you need to know about property title registration, property transaction. I'm a real estate lawyer. I remain Charles Chukwumakwoka, person you know as a property lawyer. I'm passionate about that, and I continue to guide you, help you. Thank you. Bye.